Jonathan Edwards, arguably one of the most significant religious figures in U.S. history, was a theologian, philosopher, educator, missionary, revivalist, and a pastor. He gave great adherence to the Reformed Puritan theology, which he taught and he lived. For this video, we're going to look at some details from our reading and study presentation of Jonathan Edwards and the Enlightenment, with a special note, if we get to it, on John Locke. From the Connecticut organ-shaped New Light luminary Jonathan Edwards, Edwards' historiography, from evangelical preaching, we find this, that Jonathan Edwards truly was a man that knew the Word of God. He lived the Word of God. He believed in his theology, and he had a Christian worldview. His Christian worldview placed him in a unique position to become a contemporary of men like George Whitefield and those of the Enlightenment like John Locke and Isaac Newton. Edwards' historiography includes the fact that he was a native of Connecticut, born and raised in Windsor Farm. His parents were Timothy and Esther Edwards. There was 10 girls and he was the only boy. Perry Miller calls him, even though he's an atheist, he testifies of Edwards and said that he was at least 200 years before his time and a very brilliant philosopher. He was contemporary to George Whitefield, who preached at Edwards Church during the First Great Awakening. George Whitefield was Anglican and Edwards was Puritan by their faith. Dr. Schultz gives an example of at Grace Orthodox Church, where he lists to us that Puritans believed in the Word of God. They believed the sermons that was preached to them, sometime an hour or 2 hours in length. Now, I want to address the fact that Edwards did some preaching, and he preached on this particular subject, preaching on spiritual understanding of divine things denied to the unregenerate. And he used this famous illustration. It is not that he had not heard a long description of the sweetness of honey that can be said to have the greatest understanding of it. But he that has tasted honey is the one that knows what honey really tastes like. So we have to get to a place where we're not unregenerated and become regenerated in God. John Locke, another contemporary of Edwards, was someone that Edwards took time with and published his papers on easy concerning human understanding while he was at Yale University. He worked closely with John Locke and was able to participate and help him to understand the Enlightenment and his Christian worldview. Thank you.